Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Another week, another edition of the show. This week, I have the awesome band out of Salt Lake City, Restroyer. I have the entire band, Grason, Chris, Alex, and Matt, with me today. So, as always, full band interviews. Have a little more fun because people start to find out other things that they may not know about the people that they're creating music with. So, we're going to have a little fun. But, hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Yeah, hey,
Thanks for having us.
I'm having us on now, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is like a therapy session.
Well, it's our pleasure. I mean, prior to hitting record, it was pretty punk rock stuff happening from Salt Lake City where they were just ruining everything that they had around them. So no better way to start.
Alex was specifically ruining everything.
Alex asked me to bring my laptop specifically so he could spill his beverage on it before we started recording. So if
Make sure it works.
if we just cut out, it's because the laptop just shorted.
Well,
Brought to you by Press. Yeah.
So I'm going to start off to give everybody out there that may not know you guys yet. I'm going to point to Alex to give us like the Cliff's Notes version of Restroyer and how it came to be.
Well, so Grason and I have been friends since we were in preschool, about 5 years old, playing music since about 11 or 12. Have always just been in bands together. Grason is in a lot of bands, and we always wanted to do a project together and make sure it worked. And late in our adult life, we started playing with Matt, who played bass in a band that we grew up playing with and loved called ECO here in Salt Lake City. We always looked up to them when we were younger. So later having Matt play with us was kind of really an honor and really stoked. And then we also started playing with Chris as a friend who played guitar and just wanted to be in a band. And we were like, he rips at singing, and we were like, hey, you want to be in our band? And so we threw him in, and it's kind of like something Grayson and I have been doing since 12 years old, trying to be a band. And so we're now Restroyer and kind of having the time of our lives.
Well, I mean, being older in life too it kind of lends itself to it doesn't fucking really matter. Let's just have some fun. And usually that's where the best creation comes out of, because you're sometimes without expectations come greatness.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And I had zero expectations going into this.
I think all of us did.
I still do.
Now, being from Salt Lake City, I mean, as an older man myself, and one of my favorite movies was SLC Punk. How close to life as a punk rocker in Salt Lake City was SLC Punk, if you had a chance to see it?
For me, I've seen it multiple times a year. It's one of my favorite movies ever, and you can identify every part of the movie to where you've grown up and seen, and
The crippling heroin addiction.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I just think that, and it's a great story. And for me, what I always think about when I watch it is I feel like what they're showing in that movie, I kind of caught the tail end of that iteration of punk in Salt Lake when I was coming up in the 90s, because I got into this stuff like in the mid 90s, early 90s. And I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I can kind of remember the older punks when I first started going to shows. And I'm like, they were like that. And it was like, oh yeah, that's kind of like the venues and like the shows and like the chaos and like the debauchery, you know, just all the insanity of it. And I definitely like feel like, although I wasn't part of that as a teenager or as a 20 something, I definitely feel like I caught like the end of it. You know, the end of that part of the scene in Salt Lake. And yeah, it's just as a whole, it's like a really special place in my heart, just growing up in Salt Lake.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to. I don't know if, I mean, I know I have a heart. I started a nonprofit organization, so I know I have a heart, but I don't know if I'll ever have the heart enough to have the snot bubble cry that Matthew Lillard did in that.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, posers only die, dude. Only posers die.
I'm going to want to find out about each of you a little bit individually, and I'm going to start with Grason. There's like a kind of a moment as a child when you kind of hear music for the first time, and it kind of sticks a little bit. I always like preface to let everybody know the moment that I'm looking for, and if it happened to you. Mine was 6 years old hearing the Beach Boys for the first time, and you know, telling my parents to play it again, but they couldn't because it was on the radio. But like, I remember that moment specifically because I am where I am today because of that moment. And I was just wanted to know if you kind of had a moment like that as a child when music kind of came into your life and you wanted to know more.
Yeah, probably two things kind of come to mind. So I grew up in a weird household where my mom listened to everything from like Eric Clapton to Jefferson Airplane, like all these kind of like oldie bands. But she also had this weird like appreciation for guitar, anything with heavy guitar. And so the very first tape that I ever bought was Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi. And I remember playing that, just being like, this is what I love. Like all of a sudden it just like changed. And then I think it was 94. I got a birthday present from my brother, and it was Dookie from Green Day. And I think listening through that record was probably like the most influential moment of my life. Like, Green Day might not be my favorite band now. I still absolutely love them, but listening through that record and just hearing that people kind of felt the same way that I did and kind of made the music that I wanted to make was just insane to me. And I will always love that record because of that.
Yeah.
But also, I also love Slippery When Wet, just so we're on the same page.
Well, Bon Jovi, yeah, I mean, I am from New Jersey, so it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
When you are when you're growing up listening to music, they just hand you Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen. Like, this is what you're going to like.
It's required in New Jersey. And
it's also could be the reason why I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out on those. My Dookie thing was, I'll never forget. Dookie came out. I was there to buy it the day it came out. I was a big Green Day fan prior to that, getting to see them open for Bad Religion. And
nice.
I call up the local New York radio station here, which was like the alternative station at the time, Q1043. And I'm like, hey, can you play Green Day when I come around? And they're like, who? I was like, Green Day.
Like, what?
And they're like, what the fuck is that? 6 months later, it's the only song you could hear on the fucking radio. And I'm like, nah.
Over and over. Yeah.
then the quarterback of the football team's driving around in his fucking Jeep. Mom and dad bought him, listening to Green Day after he beat me up for having green hair.
Bath caves just everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was one of the only things that connected a lot of us at that time, because there was such a, this is that time where, this sounds so cliche and silly, but it was like this separation of jocks and punks and this weird subculture idea that we have to be different than people. And Green Day and The Offspring and those, those bands that people love to hate now, it's a cool thing to do. They were the bands that really brought a lot of those people together. Like even now, I see those people at shows, and which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And, I'm sorry, I'm a never Offspring. I was never, I'm sorry. I still don't get it. Usually when there's a popular type of music, I kind of understand why it works with people and people kind of like it. Like there's a lot of things that I'm like, yeah, I don't like it, but I understand why people do. Offspring is kind of like the Chili Peppers to me too. It's just like, I just don't fucking get it. Like
that's kind of fucked up, but
I like the hot takes though.
Yeah. I'm all about it. I disagree with you, but I'm all about it.
Might call them red hot takes.
Ooh, yeah.
There it is.
Spicy.
Chris is gonna have great puns.
Yeah. So same question is going to go to everybody. So I'll go to Chris next. The moment as a kid that you hear music for the first time, do you remember what it was and why it stuck?
Oh, man. So I didn't actually listen to much punk growing up. Honestly, like well into my 20s, I didn't listen to much punk. But my family is both my parents are South American, and I remember the first really like flashes of music memory were listening to Gypsy Kings with them. And I don't know if you're familiar with Gypsy Kings, but they're oh yeah, God, they are so fucking good, dude. And I remember
they had a radio hit in the 90s. So
I mean, yeah. They've had and for an international group back then, that was huge.
Yeah,
But just being a little Latin kid dancing with my parents to Gypsy Kings. They would have friends over and have dance parties, and I would just, be in my pajamas dancing around with all the adults.
When I was a kid.
It was a great time.
Awesome.
You had Alex. Alex is Latino.
Yeah. White Latino from Holiday, Utah.
Yeah. But yeah, it kind of all started snapping in place. I had a pretty eclectic CD collection because my CD collection started with that, buy 20 CDs for a penny deal that you would always find in the magazines back in the day. And I remember the first CD I ever bought that reinforced that was Beats, Rhymes, and Life by Tribe Called Quest. And yeah, that just, I was like, oh my God, I love all the music, all of it. And then, the first punk album that really solidified itself in my mind was kind of niche. It's a band called 98 Mute. And the album was After the Fall, right? Yeah. But that album and that band really was like, oh, I love punk too, and that was what really brought me to it. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think we had, the 90s. I'm so, it's funny to me that there like haven't been more movies about the 90s and the music scene. And I've said it plenty of times, but you can go back to like every year in the 90s and like look at the top 10 chart topping bands of every year. And it's like, it's such an eclectic mix of styles of music. And I don't think there was ever really another time like that. I don't think the 90s gets enough love for the music exploration and the music that became popular to a point where people started to hate it. But at the same time, there was such this wide range of styles of music that were just great. And I don't think there's a documentary out there yet to show like the differences of how you could have Madonna at number 1, Guns N' Roses number 2, Metallica, like this whole fucking thing. And then Green Day pops off, and then you have a Dave Matthews Band, and you have new metal hits, like all this kind of different ranging thing of styles of music. Is just like, man, the fucking 90s ruled.
Oh yeah.
What ruined all that was boy bands. Boy bands is what changed that. Because everyone went from all these multi-generation like genres to boy bands, and it ruined everything.
Yeah, but in the 80s, growing up in the 80s, we had boy bands. We had Menudo, New Edition, New Kids on the Block.
Menudo, yeah.
That's true.
Like there was that range. I mean, because then if you go to the 90s, it was, the big three was NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and I mean, at a far away 93, 98 degrees. Yeah.
Really wasn't O-Town, that's for sure.
No.
Those guys suck. You hear me, O-Town?
We're coming for you.
They're probably like dads and grandpas now.
Yeah.
What's funny is an odd segue. This is Alex. Is my first real music was basically Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Growing up with a Latino family, my brother moved here from Peru when he was 13 and discovered Michael Jackson and was obsessed. So I was 3, and so I was obsessed as well. So I grew up with the New Editions and the Boys to Men's and the R&B stuff in my early elementary days. Well,
music too.
Yeah, but I always tried to pretend I didn't know that with my friends like Grason. Like I was like, yeah, I'm listening to Boys to Men at home, but no, I really love Metallica, dude. Like, Metallica is the shit.
They are.
And so I do remember kind of like not, but then I made a really quick transition at the exact same kind of, 93, 94. We were listening to the mainstream kind of rock and roll alternative, and then Green Day and Offspring kind of changed the game for what we knew. And then shortly after that, it was Fat Records and Punkorama and off to the races.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. New Edition's still one of my favorites. Anytime we have like a hardcore show or a punk show at the shop, I always, in between bands, play like New Edition. I play boy band stuff because people just look at me and they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, listen, it's a palate cleanser. Trust me, you're going to understand why I'm playing this in between sets, because if I just throw in some more punk rock, by the time the last band goes on, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm tired. Like, is this show almost over?
Just a quick shout out to Toad the Wet Sprocket. I feel like they don't get enough love. So,
hey, I hope that's not sarcastic, because I extensively love Toad the Wet Sprocket. I love Glenn too. Great person and great performer.
Fear was actually a really good album. I love that album.
It pales in my top 10 favorite albums of all time. So,
okay, all right. Well, let's talk about Toad after this. Yeah.
So we got Alex's. Matt, what was your first little thing that you kept you wanting to find out about music as a kid?
So when I was growing up, I'd always drive around with my mom or wherever we had to go, like just dropping off at school or running errands. And she always had the oldies station on. Back then it was called Oldies 94.1. A lot of 50s, a lot of 60s. Yep, there you go. And that was kind of like when I very first kind of just fell in love with music in general, with rock and roll in general. And I think the thing that grabbed me, that still sticks with me to this day, is melody, is a great hook, a great chorus that everybody wants to sing along to. And I really do think that got instilled in me from like the 50s and 60s, like oldies rock and roll, because that was like pop music. It's like can you write a great hook that everybody wants to sing along to? Everybody knows the chorus. And it was all about that for me back then, and then the other part of it was on my dad's side. He would, my parents were divorced, and he'd come pick me up for visitation, like in his his midlife crisis mobile. He had like a Pontiac. I want to say it was a Pontiac Firebird, I believe.
Yeah, dude.
But
Convertible.
Yeah. And
T-tops probably on that, right? Or was it a convertible?
Yeah. You know it, dude. You know it. And so he'd pick me up and he'd be blasting like Van Halen was a big one. And I think that's kind of like where I really got into like heavier rock and roll. Where he had like the 1984 tape, he had all these Van Halen tapes. So we had like Panama, we had Jump, and yeah, man. And that's kind of where I got into like a little bit heavier stuff. And then from there, it's kind of classic. Oh, sorry. Oh, thanks. From there, it's kind of a classic, tale as old as time, where I had a cool older brother who got into punk, and him and his cool friends like showed me some, like really like older bands. They showed me like Sex Pistols. They showed me like Dead Kennedys. Just kind of like those like more old school bands. And like I love the energy. But I still wanted melody, right? Like I didn't want just anger and angst. Like I still wanted that melody that I always love about music. And right around the mid 90s, I discovered this band called Slapstick from Chicago, and just fantastic band, kind of like got horns, a little bit of ska.
Yeah.
That was a really important band to me when I was like a teenager. And I'm not sure how much you know about the Slapstick family tree, but they went on to like dudes that formed like Alkaline Trio, Broadway's Lawrence Arms, like all that kind of shit. And to this day, the Lawrence Arms are actually my favorite band. So that was kind of like my musical sort of journey that I went on since I was a kid.
Nice. My buddy's opening for them in December, going on tour with them. Yeah.
Wait, War on Christmas?
No, Tired Radio.
Oh, dude, you know Tired Radio?
Yeah, I know Anthony.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, they're great. I just barely discovered them because like I kind of pay attention to Red Scare because Brennan kind of helps run Red Scare, and do that new Tired Radio record is awesome.
It's unbelievable. Like from Patterns to this, I was like, God damn! I mean, that was a huge leap in like just everything, like writing, musicianship, everything. I was like, it's amazing. It's really, I'm so happy for him.
That's so rad, dude. Tell him to come to Salt Lake, and I'd love to see him.
Yeah.
Nick.
All right. Grason, your first concert you ever went to and the first concert you ever got to choose to go to. Do you remember? Or were they one and the same?
Important distinction.
They might be one and the same. I don't remember because my first show, I'm not embarrassed by this at all, because this was one of the best shows I ever went to still. So the very first band that played was the Goo Goo Dolls.
Love them.
The second band was No Doubt. And the closing band was Bush, who,
love them.
I don't care what anyone says, 16 Stone. Great record.
It's one of the greatest of all time. I don't think it gets enough love.
It's so good.
Who is talking shit on 16 Stone?
So many people.
Losers, posers,
jerks. No, but it was kind of like the big mega center here in Salt Lake. And I was lucky enough to get to go with my brother, and that it was so amazing. And actually, the next show after that I got to choose to go to, and I remember this very specifically. We have this venue that is on the Great Salt Lake, and it just smells like garbage, but it's a big part of so many parts of our childhood. There's a band called Silverchair, and I'm sure most people remember Silverchair.
Frog Stomp.
Dude, so it was right after or right before Freak came out, their second record. I love Silverchair to this day. Absolutely love them.
Was it Freak Show? I think Freak Show was it.
Is it Freak Show?
I think it's Freak Show.
You're right. The song is Freak. There we go. I knew this was going to work out nicely. But yeah, I remember going to that show, and I made my brother take me, and we just kind of fell in love with Silverchair. But live music after that was just, again, like, it's like, I got to do that one day. Damn. But yeah, that Bush show, I remember that. I remember the songs they opened and closed with, all of it. Fantastic.
Great moments. Chris, how about you?
Let's see. I think the first, if I'm remembering correctly, and I might be wrong, but the first concert that I was taken to was Fleetwood Mac. Which
Sex band.
Oh man, dude, Fleetwood Mac, it's one of those bands. Like Lindsey Buckingham is underrated as a guitar player and composer in general. I mean, obviously his hits are amazing and everlasting, but like people don't give him the deserves. Anyway, but yeah, that was the first concert that I was taken to, and then the first concert that I went to of my own volition, I would say was probably Warped Tour 97, 98, one of those two. Pretty much every year after that first one, I went to Warped Tour whenever it came through Salt Lake City, just because, I mean, it was the only concert that my parents would really comfortably let me go, just with me and my shithead friends and with no supervision. But it was just super, super fun. And these dudes were probably there and I didn't even know it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cause we didn't meet till I was, we were freshmen in college. Yeah. But, yeah, Warped Tour. And I think, gosh, I'm trying to think like of the headlining bands back then. I think one of them was like, maybe this was a lot later in life too. No, that was probably 2000, but like Vandals were a headliner one year when it was.
Is that like Katy Perry? Like,
no. What?
First year was 99 and.
Was it 99?
First
It was 99. Okay.
And I went, was Eminem, Katy Perry, Lit, Good Riddance, like the best lineup.
It's not Pennywise was the year after. Yeah.
I just remember seeing the Vandals and their guitar player was on top of one of those like 20-foot speaker stacks during a lightning storm, trying to get hit by lightning. He was pointing the neck of his guitar straight into the sky and just screaming, "Fuck you, hit me, hit me!" But
Well, unfortunately, none of those stacks were plugged in. They were all for show.
I mean, still enough metal in there, I think, to conduct electricity and attractive. But that would have been one hell of a show had he got struck by lightning. But I'm glad he didn't. Yeah.
I'll say I'm just going to jump in because mine is one of my favorites. I wanted to go to shows with Grason, but my mom was like, "You're too young for concerts." But then a neighbor friend that she was friends with the parent said, "Do you want to go to this show?" And I said, yes. And it was Beastie Boys with A Tribe Called Quest opening.
Wow.
And it was epic. That was my first show, and my first Chosen to show were all together, and it was pretty insane.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. That could be one of the best first shows ever on this show. Wow.
I was waiting. I was like, mine's every time people say this, I'm like, mine's pretty dope.
That's a dope.
Right after, I remember this. This is right after Intergalactic came out. Yep, and I was like, oh, I don't really like the Beastie Boys because I was like, they don't even play their own music. And I was like, yeah, they do. And so we went and saw them live, and I'm like, oh, damn it.
They're good.
Yeah, I'm like, shit, I was wrong. I was so jealous.
They set up in the center of the arena, and the drums are in the middle, and they played all the songs, and then the ones they didn't, it was sweet.
Awesome.
Still.
Nice. All right, one more.
All right. Let's see. So probably I'm trying to think back. Yeah, I'd probably say like the first show that I actually went to was, of course, one that my mom drove us to. And it was actually Criss Cross. Make you want to jump.
Jump, Daddy Mac.
And you better, oh yeah. And you better believe the way we wore our pants to that show was not. I wish we had pictures. But yeah,
Backward starter jacket too.
Yeah,
I mean
backward. Yep.
First two owned things of media
that doesn't surprise me.
Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, all the backwards shirt, backwards jeans, fucking backwards everything. So that was a pretty awesome concert, from what I can remember. And like, I was like, oh man, when they went into Jump, I was just like, the place went off. It was wild. But yeah, that was probably like early 90s, right? Like 91, I want to say, if I was guessing. But yeah, that was pretty rad. And then probably like the first one that I went to, we have a pretty iconic venue here in Salt Lake. It's not around anymore, unfortunately, but it was called DV8, and more specifically, we said the DV8 basement. Rest in peace. And it was just the basement of a club. You go down these stairs, smells like cigarettes, smells like clothes, smells like sweaty punks. And they had a kind of like one of those tours where the record label puts on a tour for all their bands. And I remember it was Asian Man Records. And it was kind of like when Asian Man was like first putting out like music and records and stuff. So they had like, I want to say like Slapstick was on there. Meal Ticket was on there for some reason. Less Than Jake might have been part of that. But yeah, it was just basically like an Asian Man Records tour. I don't know, maybe. I can't remember. But anyways, but yeah, it was just that Asian Man Records tour that I went to with some of my friends. And like, thankfully, one of my buddies just got his driver's license. So we were able to drive downtown and go to it. And I just remember being there, first punk rock show experience. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is my shit. Like, this is my people right here. Like, and it was kind of like sealed the deal. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't know it at the time. But now I'm like, oh shit, I'm a lifer. Like, I love this stuff. Like, it's in my heart for sure.
Yeah, those first like those first shows at like you know, a basement or VFW hall or, you know, Masonic Temple or skating rink, like that's kind of like when you find that community that's going to kind of stick with you forever, and not realize it. Like, I'm still meeting people today at, you know, about 50 years old that, oh shit, hey, I think I know you. And it's because I knew you when I was 17, and because we're talking about being at the same shows, and now all of a sudden I have like this close friendship with somebody I met a year ago that I actually met, you know, fucking 30 years ago. And it's so crazy how that community can always be found. And like, sometimes you didn't realize it while you were there, and then now you're just like, holy shit, we were all at the same place at the same time. And it's crazy having some bands come through our place that like, oh, dude, you were in that band. I remember seeing you fucking 25 years ago. And like, I never put two and two together. And like, it's just so amazing, the music community that comes out of like these crazy little dim lit places that are just so influential to so many people. And sometimes we took them for granted.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, here, we're in our practice space, and this is one of the most beautiful places in Salt Lake City. I'll say it. It's a place called Space Invaders, and the owner was the guy I saw on stage doing stage work when I was 13, 14, going to shows. And he's been doing that ever since. And now he runs a stage company and owns a beautiful rehearsal space that looks like it belongs in Hollywood. And it's here, and we're lucky enough to have a space here. And it's so cool because I remember just being like, oh, I know that guy. And we recognized each other, and we've known each other for 30 years. Yeah. And it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well, I usually tell
speaking, I'm sorry, I was going to say, statistically speaking, there has to be somebody out there whose first show ever was a G.G. Allen show.
Oh, God. After he decided to
like first and last show ever. I never saw music after that ever again. Like,
a lot of them probably saw him at Shitty Gardens here in Trenton, New Jersey, where some of the most infamous shows in punk rock ever took place. G.G. Allen, Butthole Surfers, Black Flag, like crazy shit happened. You just look up wild stories from City Gardens. We called it Shitty Gardens because of infamous fucking Dookie being thrown around a lot.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting, but like
insane.
Every one of us, there's a small part of us that wish we would have seen G.G. Allen. Like, come on.
I mean, no.
Who would,
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
You
Yeah.
want to say you were there? Like, I don't want to say.
I think that's a minority. I think you're looking at
I got
a minority, not a majority.
That he threw at me. Like,
But, you know, speaking like your space is like, you know, it's so beautiful. And I always tell people, like, when you walk into something like a musical area or a musical space or venue or store or something, you can tell the people who built it who are real music lovers and real, like, are creating something not only for other people to enjoy, but something that they're proud of. Because music means so much to them. So, I mean, that just says a lot about the person that built that space and how important music is to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can tell he cares.
And a band just started playing. So, you know, you might be able to hear it. Maybe not.
Hey, I can hear it. It might not be, it might not come through on the recording, but I mean, it's great that we have a soundtrack to the show now.
well, if anybody's curious, it is a little band called Folk Hogan, and they are fantastic.
Wonderful band.
Well, they will not get paid for their music being in the background. So, yeah.
Got this.
Oh, good. Got it. Hey, cut, guys, stop.
So we just went over first concerts, and now I'm going to start. Grayson, do you remember your first performance as something musical? Your first foray into music in front of strangers, and do you remember where it was, who it was with, and how you felt?
Yes, I remember it very, 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 very well. It was I want to say it was like not a friend's birthday party, but it was this outdoor show at a weird church here in Salt Lake with Alex. And it was our band Going Nowhere Fast, and we played with our friend Special Edward. And I just remember they were like, hey, let's play to a group of our friends. And it was like a group of 30 friends. And I just remember getting up there being like, oh, this is going to be so easy. And I remember stepping up to the mic being like, oh my God, I don't know any of these songs and I don't know what to do. It was just like this moment of pure panic. But at the end of the day, so we have this friend, Lauren, who was in Special Edward at the time, was kind of telling us, he's like, hey, we've played a show before. You guys need to play the show. And he kind of like helped me through it. He's just like, hey, no. You just like have to try your hardest and all this stuff. And which is kind of funny to think now that this like little tiny kid was very, very smart about this. But anyway,
I played a show.
Yeah, he had played a show. Yeah, we were
a show before.
And well,
let's do this. I've done it once.
We were probably 13, maybe 12, 13. But yeah, just like at the end of the day, like even though it was this terrifying thing, that rush was just, it's the exact same I get today every time I leave the stage. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just like crack, but I don't like crack. So I don't know what else to compare it to. Not that you know.
Krispy Kreme donuts, ice cold Coca-Cola.
Dude, I would say just like a nice ice cold water on a hot day.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm that old at this point. Like, that just sounds great.
It was like a good dose of aspirin.
A little bit of Tylenol at the end of the day, we're good.
There you go.
Chris, how about you? Do you remember your first time playing in front of strangers and how you felt and where it was?
Yeah. I had delusions of grandeur when I was about 18 years old, and I thought, I'm going to be a rock star. That's what I want to do. So I formed this little band with a couple buddies of mine. We were called the Wasted Saints. And we played this fraternity party. It was our first and only show. And it was a banging turnout. There was tons of people there. It was probably like
one we did do it to?
No. Yeah, well, that was a different year.
It was after we played. But front to back people.
It was, there's probably about 100, 120 people in this tiny little like living room. And Grason actually ran our sound. I remember that was where I met him. I met him through my old bass player Milad, and from then on out, Grason and I have been married ever since. It's been a wonderful relationship. But yeah, I remember being on that stage, having never played my instrument in front of people ever, and not being particularly good at it, and just feeling nauseous the entire time. So it was nothing but covers except for maybe two originals, the only two originals we ever wrote.
But picture a room full of 100 frat kids going crazy to a band that's playing. Like, that's what that scene was. It doesn't matter how you play it. That show was nuts.
And we were playing all the bangers, like My Chemical Romance and
you
like
played My Chemical Romance twice, the same song.
They asked for one more song. Like, we don't know anymore.
You did it anyway.
Like, one more song. Like, we don't know anymore. Can we just play one of the ones we already played? Grayson's like, don't do that.
It worked.
I remember this era specifically because Grayson and I were in a band called Against the Sky. And until, I guess, Restroyer was our most successful endeavor, we got to play with Coheed and Cambria and etc. But then we broke up and we didn't play for about a year and a half. And then we reunited. And the only show we reunited for was to play Chris's frat. And it was really fun.
To be clear, I was not a frat boy, all right? I joined a frat for like half of my freshman year because it was the only place I could afford to live on campus because it was like $200 a month. And then I was like, I fucking hate this. I'm out. Peace. But I still have some friends from that fraternity. So it wasn't worthless, but yeah.
No, that was the time of my life, dude. Like, I had never played drunk before. That was fun.
It's a great place to do it. Great place to do anything drunk.
Well, it was definitely underage drinking still,
Oh,
so
for sure.
it was great.
Almost exclusively underage drinking. Yeah. What about you, Maddie?
Oh yeah. So all right. So the first show. All right. So I was probably like 15 years old, 16. Yeah, probably 15. And me and my buddies were kind of digging like putting a band. The idea of putting a band together. And like I said, we were all like really big fans of slapstick back then. So we put together kind of our version of slapstick. But we were a band. We were called Tom, Elvis, and the Presleys.
Yeah.
which to this day, that name still makes me laugh. I don't know why.
Because it's fucking terrible.
Exactly. That's probably what it is. Now that you mention it, it's the fact that it's so bad. There you go, Kimmy and the Gibblers. But so we just put a band together, and the very first show we played, we met some friends that kind of our same age and kind of were playing, punk rock, a little bit like they were more like kind of an Op Ivy style. They actually covered Sound System, which is the first time I actually got into Op Ivy was from them. We just played in their garage. And the one thing that sticks out to me when I think back about that is I feel like a lot of people, a lot of musicians, when they first start, they talk about like being very nervous and, getting like just very anxious about the show. I just remember being stoked. And there was a lot of unearned confidence where we were just like, yeah, we're going to kick ass. It's going to be so fun. And we were terrible. We were almost as bad as our band name, but I just remember it being the funnest time and just being like, this is so fun. We didn't really care that we didn't play very well because like all of our friends were like there and there were like skaters there. And it was just like, this is cool because we're not very good, but like we have like this energy. And you could tell that we really loved that we were doing it.
People probably having fun too.
Yeah. People were just having fun and stuff. And we actually did a slapstick cover too. And the other, like I said, the other band did an Op Ivy cover. And it was really fun. It's a good time.
Nice. Yeah. And when you're, just starting out, a lot of times like that blind confidence does so well for you because you don't know any different. You don't know any better. So
I think it's how we roll right now.
That's the only way we play.
Exactly.
Blind confidence, nausea, and alcohol. Just
That's pretty much it.
No, we're much better than that. Don't sell us short.
I didn't say we're bad. I just said
But it makes it's the recipe.
you guys aren't constantly sick all the time every time you're on stage. Is that just me?
I have nervous diarrhea.
I'm not talking. Okay.
Wait, we're not just talking about in general?
Yeah.
Never mind.
I just assumed that we'd help.
Not just on a normal Tuesday before a podcast, nervous diarrhea.
Grayson's in very poor health all the time, so it's just.
All right, I'm going to ask a question. Hopefully this doesn't cause any tension in the band, but if
Shit.
Grayson, if no one has ever heard of the band Restroyer and you can only play them one of your song to show them what Restroyer is that's currently released out to the world, what one song are you playing?
That one to me is pretty easy. And as we were writing this record, we did it kind of in a weird way. I think we did it a little, I don't know. We sped through the process, but one song really clicked like from beginning to end. It's our most popular song. It's what we use for everything. It's called Whose Kidneys Are These? and it's kind of a combination of like, I don't know, our love for punk rock, angry political, rhetoric, I guess. I don't know. And also we have this kind of like ska, little upbeat part to it that we like. And it just kind of shows that we have a wide variety of what we play, but we have a lot of heart behind what we do. And we like people to sing along with what we do. Or it's a catchy chorus. So I'd say whose kidneys are these for sure.
Okay. Is okay. So does someone have?
But I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
does
Chris
someone
said no.
have? Okay, Chris. What would you play?
I just no. I love all of our songs, but that's. I would say out of all the songs that we have, I'm such a slut for Wrong Key. Like, it's such a fun, energetic, and like it kind of encompasses the anger that a lot of our songs have, because I feel like we play a lot of angry music in a way that is presented not so angry, but like I feel like if you listen to lyrics, if you read the lyrics, like it's all angry, and like Wrong Key has got such a good grind your teeth, like looking out at the world, pissed at everything feel to it, and it's cathartic almost, and that's why I love it so much. And playing it's my favorite song to play just because it's fast. It's everybody in the crowd just gets up. Everybody all four of us just lose our collective fucking minds when we're playing it. And it just brings out that animal whenever I'm on stage. That's why we generally close our set with it. So that's why it's my favorite. I love Whose Kidneys Are These. It's fun. It's boppy, but it's a little bit too major key for me. And right. That makes sense. See,
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Sure. It's fine. Whatever, whatever.
Well, I love that there was a little dissension there in the ranks with songs. I mean, Alex and Matt, are you going with Whose Kidneys or?
Kidneys is definitely my favorite because I think it's the most, like Grason said, encompassing of the way I look at Restroyer, is that we are
and favorite and what you would play for someone can be two totally separate things too,
Differently, yeah. I really love Exact Same Robot and Fermi Paradox because they're the fast ones, drum wise and just speed wise, and just like just that's always been my favorite style. I'm a very Fat Records style person, strung out, Lagwagon, Jordan Burns and Dave Ron are idols of mine. So that faster pace is some of what I like. I think about how we can mosh to songs, but Kidneys is still one of my favorites and favorites to play because I love ska and I really love, bands like Suicide Machines and fast flatliner songs and things like that. And so I love ska. I love all flatliners. So. But yeah.
Yeah, you bring up a band that's one of my favorites of all time, and Strung Out, and I think they're one of those. I think they're the band that's been around the longest that I don't think gets the love that they deserve for being a like punk rock metal band at the same time with Cruz's amazing vocals to it as well. Like I don't think they truly get the love that they should for what they've done.
100% agree, dude.
Grason and my favorite band of all time. So
yeah, they're so good. Like like their guitar stuff is like technical, but it's interesting. Like the melodies are so good. Like the songs hit. Like you feel them. They just got it all, dude. Like I love Strung Out.
Do you agree with Kidneys?
Oh, so mine's actually kind of weird, probably, but I would probably say the one that I would be like, for me, this is the band, and it all comes back to the thing I was talking about earlier, which is melody, and which is a great chorus. That to me, that's everything. Everything else in music and performance and songwriting is back burner to a great chorus that people want to sing along to. For me, that song is Medicated. So Medicated is the one that I always think about when I think about our band, because I love the chorus and I love like singing along to the chorus. And I think that it's just kind of got that thing that just sort of grabs me, and the thing that I've always loved about music for like the melody and stuff.
Well, you and I are one of the same, because that's a song that I've played for people. Yeah, after I mentioned you guys on the show and my weekly threes, the three things I'm listening to, like Medicated was like the song that I would send to people and just say, hey, check out this band.
Dude, thank you so much, man. That's awesome.
That's great.
Really,
Thank you.
We really appreciate that you do that. It's fucking cool.
We like our band to kind of be, like I said, everything, you know. I like that poppier song. I like the hard song. I want one that screams. I mean, like our stuff that's coming up is the best we've ever done by far, I'd say. And super excited to show that to everybody. But Medicated lines in perfectly. So I love it too, you know.
And we're blessed. The four of us have enough overlap in our influences and style, but we also have enough of an eclectic taste that we have a lot of outer like influences that are different from each other. So it's nice to have that.
Complementary somehow.
Exactly.
Works.
Nice. All right. What was the runner-up for, before you set yourself on being Restroyer? What was the runner-up name of the band? For yourself?
Oh my God! Hold on.
We have a notes. We have a notes list in that we refuse to delete because it is full of gems, and some of them will just make you laugh just reading the list.
We had a couple of like serious good ones.
I'd say like we were really close to being Exact Same Robot, which ended up being a song name. I can't think of what else.
May we read you just some of the names on this list?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to hear.
Goodness gracious. I'm starting
Exact Same Robots kind of sounds more like an emo band name than a punk rock band.
Yeah.
Because it's got three, there's three words in there, and that's
right.
Usually,
so in no particular order, and I won't read too many, but here's just a small selection. Substitute T-shirt, Nasty Little Horses, Ant Agonize, Snarlton Banks, Arlie, Ash Debris, Caplet, Lie Design, Way Lees, what? Meth Before Dishonor, Scamp Shrampy, Shrapnel Clam, Shrapnel Calm, Vague Light, Hollow Spine, Rejectory, Beat Boop Papadummus, Tiger Team, Sloppy Fist Bumpin'. And the list literally goes on for possibly upwards to 1,000 names.
But
Comedy gold.
what would you guys say though that Exact Same Robot was to answer his quote was the runner up?
Yeah,
Felt like that.
Yeah, Exact Same Robot was the runner-up.
Was
for
the
sure.
actual runner-up.
There were just
Oh my God.
so many good ones.
Nameless is insane.
Big time football boner. That's
I will say
Grason just watched TV show and wrote shit down.
that is accurate. The reason we ended up using Restroyer, though, is it was the only one that wasn't like directly associated with something else. It was unique. And Matt and Chris kind of came up with it together. Like it was kind of a cool little thing. But I'm glad we chose it.
I'm glad you chose it too, because I might not have reached out otherwise, just because of the band name. Wow.
There you go.
That's one of those things that like you kind of have to, like, before an encore or when you start the show, like after they announce you coming out, just go out there, pull out the list. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans at any point, but Jericho's man of 1,007 holds, and just stand up there for 10 minutes reading the list and like
just Chris
flipping it
Jericho is
out.
one of the greatest to ever do it. Jericho is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, but that man of 1,007 holds is like the greatest thing of all time. Like,
Let's test your wrestling knowledge. Do you know who he was spoofing when he said a list?
Dean Malenko.
Yeah,
that was wow.
Iceman, Dean Malenko. Yep,
Question basically.
underrated wrestler, one of the greatest technical wrestlers.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was a man of 1,000 holds. I mean, there's only one person
1,000.
better, and that was Jericho.
He also looked like everyone's dad. You know what I mean? Like everyone's drunk ass dad.
This is dangerously close.
I don't wanna
This
talk
is dangerously close to devolving into a wrestling podcast.
Well,
That's
for
like
me,
I got
living
that,
in
like,
Jersey,
the
he looked like every kid I went to high school with that was Italian. So
every kid in Jersey looks like a 47-year-old balding man.
that's a fact.
That's what Guar looks like without their costumes.
With respect to Guar, the amazing band
The
Guar.
amazing
Yeah,
Guar.
I wish
Who doesn't love
I
Guar?
wish we had that much showmanship in our hand.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm saying you should use it. Like, just bring out a scroll and read out what the band name was going to be after they introduce you as Restroyer.
You should make it the backdrop.
Just
Yes.
all the
Destroyer over it, and then just faintly behind it all the
other names. See,
Yeah.
we're just
Like
coming
a
up with
memorial.
ideas, man.
While you're waiting for us to play, you have some shit to read.
Some of those names are
Yeah.
not okay. Like,
Who cares? No one's gonna know
oh my
what's
God,
going
they were
on.
almost called Squirts' Piss. That's
Yeah. We've got better ideas.
All right. Speaking of performances, I always like to go and like pull a scab off. So, Grason, is there a performance that you were a part of in your life that anytime something goes wrong during a performance, now you go, at least it wasn't that?
Oh God, yes. So many. Yeah, I'm sure you can. The biggest one. So in 2003, Alex talked about this a little bit. So our band Against the Sky had the opportunity to open for Coheed and Cambrias. Did I say Cambrias? It's a single Cambria?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a single
cool.
Cambria.
Just making sure. All right, we're on the same page.
It's like you're from
But,
Jersey. You had Nest to everything.
Yeah, I'm just making sure they're not from Jersey, even though they have songs about Jersey things. Anyway,
Well,
okay,
Cambrias,
so-
they technically are. They're originally from Paramus and call themselves from
shit.
Nyack, so which is 10 minutes away. Nyack, New York. So you could throw the NY instead of the NJ at the end.
Okay, perfect. All right, I've learned a lot today. I really like that. But we had a chance to open for them. It was them, Hope's Fall, who is the most underrated band of all time,
Absolutely.
and then One Line Drawing, who is another great band.
Jonah
But,
Matranga. Yeah.
yeah, just
He-
incredible. Just playing again.
First performer at my venue ever. And
No
a dear friend
way.
in life now. Yes.
So cool. Yeah, I just recently saw something. Well, I shouldn't say recent, but over the past few months about One Line Drawing show, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot more because he's dropping a new album of One Line Drawing that's a lot harder than I think it's leaning towards a little bit more of new and original stuff. Like,
Hell
if you
yeah.
remember that band by him.
Dude, I'm stoked for that. I just remember like staring at the stage because it was one of probably the first show that we played that was like a massive show for us. It was in the basement of DV8, like Matt talked about. It was sold out. It was this iconic venue. We got on the stage to start, and for the first second we play, there's no one there, and within 10 seconds that venue is full. And you know, we play pretty well. We're pretty stoked on it. And the third song, my guitar and the other guitar player, we both break a string in the same song. We're like, okay, no big deal, right? Here's the thing. We were, 2003? I was 18 years old. I didn't have two guitars. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm going to change a string really quick, which I have done at shows before. I've done it really quick, so no one even really notices. Not that big of a deal. So I go to get my strings. My strings are not there. We had to play 2 more songs or something like that, or 1 more song without strings on our guitar, with an entire sold out crowd of people staring at us being like, how in the hell did these guys get this gig?
Well, we had one no strap.
I think
for like our
oh shit,
like the mosh our band.
whatever it was such a bummer. But at the end of the day, we're like, where the fuck were our strings? And the sound guy had taken my backpack from the stage for whatever reason and like put it in the back. He brought it out to us after the show, so after Coheed and played everything. We're like, dude, do you seriously take that? Anyway, I'm, as you can see, I'm actually still mad about it. If that sound guy's
at least you're not salty.
dude, yeah, dude, if that sound guy's listening, I seriously gotta fucking talk to that guy. So hit me up, dude. No, but it was a bummer, but you know, I still got to play that show. It was such a cool experience, and you know, I learned. I hope maybe now I have 2 or several guitars. Yes, should be good. 40s. Now that I'm in my 40s, I can't afford more guitars, but I have them anyway.
Yeah, you're just an adult, you know, a child with adult money at times. Like that's the way I look at it, being older.
better than being an adult with child money.
Yeah,
Which,
fact.
Yeah.
Well, you're in a band, so it's kind of like that. I mean, so Chris, how about you? Do you have a performance in your career that you're like, well, at least it wasn't that?
Yeah, man. I would say probably our Grayson shaking his head. Probably Pennsylvania, honestly. It was our biggest show that we had to that point. We flew out to Pennsylvania to play this amazing festival called Pennsylvania. If you're not familiar, I highly recommend
am very familiar. I've been there.
Yep. Yes. And we look forward to seeing you there next year, right? Maybe, who knows?
Probably not.
Oh, I'm gonna be an attendee.
Exactly. I'll be there regardless of whatever. I'm gonna have great food and great friendships. But we played we got rained out, so we had to move our stage from the outdoor stage, the riot stage to the shadow stage. No big deal. Great stage. It's the same stage that Lawrence Arms played on. Fantastic stage. Loved it. Good turnout. But I don't know if it was just my guitar was not used to the humidity of Pennsylvania, but like my E string would not stay in tune no matter what. Like I would tune it 2-3 times a song and it just would keep dropping. And I was getting visibly distressed because I'm not very good at hiding my emotions. When I'm angry, I very visibly am angry. When I'm annoyed, and when they say if you're playing live and you screw up, just keep playing and don't point any attention to it, just so people aren't aware of it. I can't operate like that. Whenever something goes wrong, my dad. Quick aside.
When I was a child.
Yes. My dad has what you might call a temper.
Here comes the therapy. I love it.
And I remember growing up, we had this little tennis court in our neighborhood, and I would watch him play, and he would just like another double fault, and he would just like launch his little tennis racket 3 blocks over. And just every week he was breaking another tennis racket.
Big fan of McEnroe, your dad was, huh?
Oh man, yes, McEnroe was his idol. Just angry and vociferous. But and Alex can attest to this. I got into our trailer after the set, and I lost my mind on my guitar. I physically ripped the strings off of my guitar without even detuning it. I just pulled it like a bow and arrow till they all snapped off. And
yeah, he didn't know I was in the trailer, and we were, my fiance and I were in there sleeping, taking a nap, and then I was like, I think I hear Chris, and he was just like kind of yelling at his guitar, and then I heard strings getting ripped off, and I was just like, please don't fucking break it, dude, don't break your guitar, don't. I was just waiting to hear it, and luckily I did not hear that, and I think that guitar still lives.
It does live. I did not break the guitar. I love that guitar. I would never break it, but I will give it a stern talking to from time to time. And yeah, if that never happens again, Grayson can tell you this. I want to put Evertune bridges on every single one of my guitars now, but I can't afford them. So
it wasn't that bad. He thinks it was bad. It wasn't. There's videos of all of it. It really wasn't.
It wasn't that bad.
I think I fucked up the worst on that set. That was the most noticeable, and I didn't give a shit.
And no one noticed that either.
But we're our own worst judges, right? Like we I was very critical of my performance.
We also drink a lot before we play sometimes.
Exactly.
It's okay. That's fine.
But yeah, equipment failures piss me off.
All right. Alex, how about you?
Ooh. That's kind of, you know what? I'm going to go way back. Our very first show, maybe our second show ever as a band, Grason and I, we got to open for, I actually didn't even know, to be honest, until later that we were opening for Leftover Crack
the Connection
at the raddest skate park in Salt Lake, Connection Skate Park. Yeah. And such a rookie, I don't think about what a drum rug is. And I put my bass drum down and it's on concrete at a skate park. So every time I hit my kick, it just slid forward like 3 feet. So we had to get our friend to sit in front of my bass drum. Yeah. And it was just so terrible. And I was like, this, and we had only played one other show and we did great. So I had that like, we're badass that first show. This is that high, this is sick. And then I was like, this is the worst thing. Should never do this again. Mm-hmm. But then I think we played the next night, oddly, with The Used. Yeah. At Duff at Squirrel. DAPHAT. And now it's Urban Lounge. But But either way, yeah, that was probably one of the worst things ever because it would just like deflated everything that ever happened. And I can think of other fuck ups, but I can get over those. It was like that one. It was like the drum will just, you kick it once and it slid a skateboard.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, so the one that comes to mind for me is that band that I mentioned earlier, the very first band that I was ever in, Tom Elvis and the Presleys. We got it.
I love how he just keeps name dropping it. Like he has to get it out there because I said it was so bad.
Like we're gonna accept
Yeah,
it.
I'm not at the end of the show. I'm still gonna be like, yeah, no, that was still terrible. So
yeah. Quit trying to make Tom Elvis happen, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not happening. But yeah,
nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. That's right. But so we're all from basically Salt Lake, the Salt Lake Valley, like different suburbs of Salt Lake. But we got a chance to play a show out in Provo, which is like, you know, obviously another big city in Utah. And it was like a big deal to us because like we never had traveled outside of Salt Lake Valley to play a show. So I'm really excited to go out and play this show. We're the opening band for a much, much bigger and much better local band in Provo. So we open the show, we start playing, and I didn't think that in the moment we were that bad, but I guess we were. And I guess maybe Provo crowds are a little more critical because, you know, I heard mention earlier of we think it's worse than it actually is, and maybe the crowd doesn't notice. This crowd noticed and absolutely did not like us. And they let us know. So it was the very first time that we were getting boos. They booed. Yeah, they were saying like, get off the stage. You guys suck.
No. Jeez.
And I just remember like I started sweating really bad. I remember thinking like, this sucks. I'm so embarrassed. Like, I just want this to be over. And yeah, just like being up there and actually being booed and actually being told, you suck, get off the stage. And I think that had things not gotten better, and what I mean by that is that we got a little better and we like kind of forced ourselves, maybe even from that show specifically, to be better and to perform better. That happened way less often. But that show always sticks out to me where I go, if I have a bad show, at least it wasn't that Provo show where people were booing us.
Oh, that's brutal, dude. That is sad. Yeah, that's a bummer. How can someone be mean to you?
I don't know. They were
yeah.
You're like the nicest person that exists.
Fuck Provo. I'm sorry.
No, fuck Provo, dude. Sorry, when we come. No, we're not going to play Provo.
We might play Provo. Yeah.
All right, let's go to your favorite performance memory. Let's try to make this a happy moment. Grason, your favorite, you know, to date, like the time you walked off stage and you're like, that was the greatest thing ever.
I have a lot. I've been very fortunate to play shows that, you know, I don't know. I've just been very lucky, but I think if I had to think of one, I'm going to go a little far back. It's before Restroyer. Although I think Restroyer has some stuff coming up that will top that very easily, to be honest, but I can't say anything yet. Anyway, I played a show. So there's a place in Utah called St. George, and my band Going to Our Fast played down there. And we didn't really think much of this show. It was like the basement of this church. We had to build the stage. We had to borrow equipment from some local band that didn't even play the show, but then ended up playing the show. It was the weirdest thing. Anyway, we opened the show. Oddly enough, Matt's band ECO that Alex kind of mentioned earlier were the headliners of this show, which was so cool to us because we really looked up to them. But I just remember we got up onto the stage to play and we're like, there's not a single person in this room. And the promoter, whoever, you know, set up the show was like, oh, we haven't opened the doors yet. And I just remember the second we started our first song, they opened the door and it was like 350 kids just ran in, like the coolest punk rock show you've ever seen. We're playing on platforms that are made of pallets that were nailed together 20 minutes before we played. Every kid is going crazy in that place, never hearing a song or, you know, heard a song that we've ever, you know, they've never heard us, but, you know, and then even Matt's band gets up at the end of the day and people actually start singing their songs, which made me very jealous. But, and we still played to 350 people or so that were just going nuts. They didn't care. It was a city that didn't see a lot of shows, especially punk rock shows. It was just nuts. Such a cool experience. Yeah, it was probably my first experience of having people like actually moshing to the music I played. I go back and listen to that music. I'm like, yeah, this is good, but like it's crazy to me that in the 90s people just ate that shit up, or I guess early 2000s. But definitely that show. That's what sticks out for sure.
I remember
Nice.
coming out. I remember that show coming out because Matt, you played that. Remember St. George and ECO? Matt just returned.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, and I was like, who the fuck is playing my drums? And I came out and it was Chris.
Not me, another Chris.
Different Chris, who played drums for ECO, and that ended up just being the rad. Like, it was so cool. You ended up in Good Charlotte for a while. It's just like, that was an honor. And that's why I said playing those shows, I agree with Grason. That was one of my first, like, what? People will show up and move and enjoy our band and at like this level. And we were 16 or so, like freshly. And that was one of our rep. I agree with Grason. I'm going to just say ditto.
All right. Next, Chris.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You got some good ones.
I've had some pretty good ones. None with this band, but I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No. No, I've had obviously every moment I get to share the stage with these guys is fantastic. But I would say probably my crowning like achievement would be a show where my band actually was sick and couldn't play. So I was conscripted to be a referee / wrestler for a show. It was a half wrestling, half punk show that they do here. It's fantastic. But yeah, my other band, Pirates of the Promised Land, little name drop there.
He's wearing his own shirt right now too, just so on the same page.
You can't prove that. But yeah, our drummer was sick, so we had to cancel. But the wrestler in charge, Princess Deathwish, asked me if I'd be willing to be a referee and wrestler, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, yes. I would quit both bands in a heartbeat if I could be a wrestler. Are you kidding me? Yes. But I'm very small, so it's not. But that show I would say was super fun because I got to cut a promo, I got to super kick somebody, I got to stunner somebody. Oh man, it was like I was like, this is the best show I've ever played. By far, that I didn't even pick up an instrument.
This is really offensive to us, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You would feel the same way. First of all.
Yes, I would, but it didn't happen to me, so I'm going to pretend like I'm actually offended.
That's fair. But yeah, hopefully we can play one of those shows. I know it's
That'd be fun.
yeah, it'd be just
That'd be awesome. Actually,
I would love to kick you in the face if you could kick me in the face. Like,
if we play one of those shows, we're all getting involved.
I wanted to be put through a table, and they were like, we don't want to put you through a table if you're a newbie. I'm like, I don't care. I'll sign whatever. Just put me through a table. But yeah, those wrestling shows. We got to play one. Yeah,
Gotta do it.
Shane, you know what it's like.
I know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly. Maddie.
All right. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I guess other bands from out of Utah could attest to this or not, but I believe we do have a unfortunate reputation here of not paying bands what they are promised, whether it's a handshake deal or a contract. We do unfortunately have some
That's a universal, like, that's not just Utah. That's a universal thing.
It's called the promoter code.
Yeah, there you go, the promoter code. So
Makes me feel better, but it's not just here.
But yeah, so we had a guy, I guess I won't give his full name, or I don't know if you have to bleep his name or whatever, but anyways, so we have a promoter here.
We'll call him Grason.
We have a promoter here who famously did not pay local bands what he promised he would pay them. This venue was called The Junction. We actually played a show at The Junction, and it was our CD release show. This was probably, I want to say, 2002. This old band I was in called The Contingency Plan.
Thank God it wasn't Tom Presley.
I know, right? Seriously. Thankfully, we had moved on since then. So, but yeah. So, anyways, this was our CD release show. So we flyered the hell out of it, and when I say flyered, I don't mean the internet. Like, I mean printed up. Our buddy worked at the print shops. We printed up like 10,000 flyers, stood outside of shows, went to the mall, passed out flyers to everybody. And so all that to say is that, flyers are a numbers game. So you hand out 10,000 flyers, you might get 100 people to the show. You might get 30 people to the show. We managed to get 300 people through the door just for our band. And that was like insane. Like that was like far and beyond anything we'd ever done. It was our show. We were headlining. It was such a blast. Like I remember looking out and seeing people singing to our songs. It was just like a crazy experience. And I just remember like, this is like the funnest time I've ever had in my life. I still think about that show. And when I see those guys from my old band occasionally, we still reminisce. And, maybe there's a sad part about thinking back on your glory days or whatever you want to call them, or, living in the past. But I definitely have like really good memories of that show and like what a great time it was. And to tie all that back around, and I promise this will all like circle back to getting ripped off. So at the end of the show, I know. So at the end of the show, we're like, oh, that was cool. It was really successful. And I guess we'll go settle up. So we go to settle up with Ted or John or whatever his name was. And we go to settle up with him, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys didn't really make very much money." So he tried to give us like $60 or something, and it was like it was an insane ripoff. But all that to say, what it makes me realize is like, yeah, he should have been more fair, and he should have, compensated us for, bringing so many people through the door. But when I think back of that show, I don't think about, getting ripped off in a negative way. Like that's an anecdote part of it. But what I really think about and what's in my heart about it is that how much fun it was, and that our hard work of promoting it paid off, and like a lot of people cared and were singing along, and just what a rad experience it was. So that was definitely, still to this day, is like one of the funnest times I ever had playing a show.
Wow, it's like a riches to rags story all in one.
There you go.
I remember watching videos of that show. Like when I remember that so well, because videos came of that show, and I remember Mikey coming up and playing this like awesome riff of like the first song, and I remember the crowd singing along, and it was the first time I was like, there's a band from Salt Lake that's kind of a punk rock band that's going to do something. It was like this huge moment. So Matt likes to underplay his bands, like, we brought 300 people. This was a venue that probably fit 250 then, because that show was nuts, and the entire crowd was going crazy. It was probably, like, in my opinion, from the shows that I went to, like top 10 best local shows ever. It was so good.
That local scene in the early 2000s in Salt Lake City for local bands was insane. In high school, we threw for a high school project, I threw a charity show, and I think we brought 350 people to that. And Ted Shoup actually did host that and gave us all the money, because I think he knew it was all going to charity for a high school.
Okay.
So, but I think you guys played it. I used my knowledge of all the bands. I booked all the biggest bands in the state, and we did an all-day thing.
Yeah.
And it was rap. So
awesome.
Ted Shoup gave us the money then.
That's good. That was not standard practice.
And do you know that he's actually what that Salt and Pepper song's about? Shoop, 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 shoop. Very good. Shane's clearing his throat. He's like, that's the most unfunny thing that's ever been said on this podcast.
Yeah, it's not. It's close. It's up there. It's definitely up there. All right, let's do some quick thinking here. Start with Grason. Grason, your band or artist in your life that never lets you down, aka one of your favorites.
Strung Out, including their latest record, Dead Rebellion, which has changed the way I write lyrics. Jason Cruz is brilliant. It's disgusting how good he is. It's that easy.
The Bronx, every single time. My favorite band of all time. Little Get Up from Los Angeles, and they are the most insanely energetic, happy yet pissed off band I've ever heard in my entire life. And no matter where I am, whether it's on the road, in the gym, studying, at work, like everything. Every time one of their songs comes on, I just have to get up and start moving because they're just the best.
Nice. Alex.
I'm going to say, it's like picking children, dude. Hot water music, for real. Like they just inspire me. Maybe they're not like the most happy, make you stoked, but just fuck, man. Can't. Every time it's a hot water music song, I'm stoked.
Matt.
I gotta go. These guys already know what I'm gonna say, but I gotta go. The Lawrence Arms. The Lawrence Arms. I think that they are much like Strung Out. I think that they are criminally underrated. I think that they write amazing music, poetic without being pretentious, punk rock, but kind of beyond punk rock as well. And I love everything that the members I like, whether it's the Falcon, Wandering Birds, Sundowner. I just think that they write the most amazing music, and I'm a lifelong fan. Yeah, they never let me down. Like, great songs, and I actually got to know them a little bit recently on a personal level. Cool guys. So yeah, definitely Lawrence Arms.
Nice.
Grayson took Strung Out from me, and he didn't call No Battle, so I had, those are the two.
All right. Good answer. All right. I'm going to start with, let's see, the band or artist that you listen to, Grayson, that people be really surprised you listen to. Like, it's sometimes you're ashamed to admit it. And listen, I understand. There's no such thing as guilty pleasures, but I always have to preface it by there's that millisecond someone catches you listening to something you think you shouldn't be listening to. What is it?
This is a very fair question. I am not embarrassed by this, but I feel like people would be embarrassed for me. I don't know, maybe. I love Chapel Roan. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. Pink Pony Club, that's brilliant. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I just can't help it. No, it's like this feel good stuff. I don't know. I can't help it. I also like a lot of like 80s pop stuff, like Erasure and Dead or Alive, that kind of stuff. And people are kind of surprised by that, but I can't help it. That's how it is.
Chris.
It's not so much of a guilty pleasure because he's super popular, but it's not very punk rock. But Louis Capaldi,
Great voice.
just a beautiful singer. And when I'm having my Friday night cry in the closet session, it's just fantastic music to just really exercise those emotions from. And I've got my happy music, I got my angry music, I got to have my sad music too. And Louis Capaldi is just fantastic for scratching that itch.
Nice.
Alex has no idea who that is.
I'm sitting here going like, who the fuck is that? Man, I really would say big fan of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars, Post Malone, big fan. People are always tripped out because it's usually just pure punk rock, and then that kind of stuff will come on.
Nice. Matt.
Yeah, I would definitely, kind of like Grayson just mentioned a little bit earlier, I would definitely a big fan of 80s pop music, top 40 80s. I think it was just such an amazing decade for music. So with that said, I definitely got to go Cyndi Lauper.
Lauper.
I think she such a beautiful voice.
Did you watch her documentary on Amazon?
Yes. Let the Canary Sing.
Yeah. So good.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I think She's So Unusual is a masterpiece of an album. I think Shine is an incredible song. Yeah, I just love her. And I think she's cool as hell. I think she looks cool. I love her politics. I love that she's a feminist icon. And I love that she stands up for human rights, for gay rights, for trans rights. I think she's just such a cool person and amazing songwriter.
Nice. All right. World's coming to an end. You have 5 minutes left to live, and you have to listen to one song. What one song are you listening to, Grayson?
Shit. Oh, the one song I'm thinking of is longer than 5 minutes.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to listen to only 5 minutes of it, so.
Oh, The Decline by NoFX.
Yeah.
I don't know why that comes to mind, but I think it is one of the most brilliant songs ever written. I know that's so silly to have this like punk rock song, but it's either that or Under Pressure by Queen. One of the two.
Okay. Chris.
It's hard.
Oh, I'm probably going to go with Warbrain by Alkaline Trio. Just fun song, fun to sing along to. And if I got to have 5 minutes left of life, then I'm gonna go out singing.
All right, good song. Alex.
I'm gonna say Matchbook, Strung Out, or Drag My Body Out on music.
Also
Nice.
a great pick.
Iris Goo Goo Dolls.
Matt.
Also a great pick. I don't care what anyone says. Great song.
Yeah, I got to go. I want another one of Jersey's. I don't know if he's a hero there, but he's a Jersey boy for sure. Is Gaslight Anthem, the song May. I believe it's on the Handwritten record.
It is.
It's just like such an amazing song. I think Brian Fallon is one of the best current songwriters, and I think May is probably the best Gaslight song. And I would love to. I'd love to go out listening to that song, and as the bombs drop. God, what a great song to go out to. Yeah, got to go May by Gaslight.
All right. Last morbid question.
You
can keep going, man.
Going right to Grace. All right. Unfortunately, there's a tragedy happening. Your dwelling is burning to the ground. All living things and creatures, goldfish, mice, everything's out safe and sound and alive.
Oh God!
But you got 1 minute to run back in and grab one music-related item. What are you grabbing?
Oh, this is kind of a fucked up question, and I love it. Music related. I'm gonna go my very first guitar, which is funny because I never ever play it. Sorry, Doug. It's something my mom bought for me. My mom was always the person who's like, Chris is like, you son of a bitch. No, my mom was the person that really pushed me towards playing music. She bought me my first guitar when I probably didn't deserve it at like 8 years old. It's an old Washburn Nuno Betancourt, or like a Nuno N2 model. It's a great guitar, but I was an idiot and covered it in stickers that I don't really like. So one day I'll fix it up and play it again, but I would grab that guitar.
Yeah. I mean, my guitar's sitting right here in the studio next to the recording, and I got some stupid. I have the old McDonald's stickers that they used to give out in Happy Meals stuck to.
Yeah,
that's right next to Bad Religion and China Drum and Pavement and So
Nice.
I get it.
Fair enough.
Chris,
All right. So, almost verbatim the same answer.
you would grab
Accepted.
Grayson's guitar?
I would.
So nice of you.
Well, the stickers.
No, I would send Grayson in to get it. No, it's a guitar. My first guitar tube. It was a Fender Stratocaster, American Strat. I never play it because I can't play on those bridges. I can't palm mute on that bridge for whatever reason. But it's just important to me because my dad bought it for me when I first told him I want to play guitar. He's like, all right, let's go get a guitar. And he made a very dumb mistake and he took me to Guitar Center or whatever guitar store there was at the time. And he's like, all right, point to one on the wall and that's the one you get. And I was like, all right, that one right there. And it was like the most expensive guitar in the world. It's the blue. It's like the light blue with the maple neck. And it's important to me too, because on the body, I remember there's a crack right in the middle of the body. And I remember exactly where I was when I was doing when it happened. I was on a phone call with my late brother, Ryan. And we were talking about some stupid stuff that kids talk about. I was probably 14, 15 years old. And I remember reaching up to stretch. And this was before I knew strap locks were a thing. And my strap just came over the top of the button and the fender, boom, hit the kitchen tile. I had a strap. Wait, did you say I didn't know strap-ons? Okay. But yeah, it just busted off and it cracked right in the middle of the body. It was totally fine other than a crack. I've filled it with epoxy, but I didn't color match it exactly just so I know it's still there. But every time I look at a guitar, it reminds me of my dad and it reminds me of my brother who's since passed. And it's a very important instrument to me.
Alex.
This is a tough one because I really, to be honest, don't have a bunch of musical stuff at my house. All my stuff is here at the space. And I would grab all of my drums.
It's going to be impossible.
All set up. I would just pick them up and run them out.
It's a pretty sick drum kit.
Together.
Like a Sherpa.
Yes.
It's like the first kit with the name on it and stuff. Like, I get it.
Yeah. So I would run down to the practice space and I would grab my drums and make sure they were safe.
So if your house was on fire, you go to the practice space if the drums were safe. Okay.
So, I mean, I have an electric kit, but I don't give a shit if that burns.
What if your house is on fire? Would you get
You know,
Do you have any like
what
I don't know,
what I was gonna say, Grayson, was remember that photo we took against the sky, police parking lot, and it was before iPhones and all kinds of crazy shit. And our friend Lauren took a picture of us standing next to a puddle in a rundown parking lot, and he just took a picture of the puddle, and that ended up being our like silhouettes in the puddle ended up being perfect. And my mom framed it for us, and I've kept it fucking for years. She framed it for the whole band, so I'd bring that.
Okay, I'll let it slide.
And my drums, dude. My drums are coming.
He said one thing.
All right, Matt.
All right. I guess so. Mine's like still sort of music related, maybe not in the same way, but maybe kind of an odd answer. But just because it has so much music on it that is not streaming, is not on YouTube. I by long have lost the CDs. Would definitely be the iPod, like the OG iPod. Yeah, the one that actually had like the click scroll. Yep.
Is that on the iCloud though for you?
Not for me. I lost those files so long ago, and I have no idea of how to access them. No LimeWire, none of that. So everything is on that device. And yeah, just for the music alone. I mean, I have local bands on there that, you know, you can't really get their music anywhere else, and I've got like photos on there that they don't exist anywhere else. So although it's not like an instrument, like for that kind of thinking of music that way.
No, yeah, it's any music related item. So that's better than the photo that is just a puddle that has nothing to do with music. But yeah, so,
I hear the sound.
I hear the sound of the shutter clicking and the wind swaying in the background. I get it, man. It's cool. It's cool. All right. Well, we're coming in to the end of the show here. And before we move on to our final segment, which is where you guys appeared, which was my final three. Since there's four of you, you're only going to give me one thing that you're listening to right now. But I'd love to give you the opportunity, someone who remembers all of your handles and things that people can keep up with what you're doing, how to follow you, how to support the band, other than just streaming something on Spotify so you get your nice 11-cent royalty check. But yeah, if somebody wants to throw out all your handles, Instagrams, Facebooks, website, all that kind of stuff, now's the time to do it.
So basically, it's really easy. It's Restroyer Band in all of them, at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, RestroyerBand.com. We do. And a merch site, man, and we sell product on that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's one of those e-commerce things.
We also offer healthcare options at restroyerband.org.
Nice. Medicare Part C.
It's a nonprofit.
Nice. So we're gonna move on to our weekly threes. It's normally three things you're listening to, but you're each going to give me one thing that you're listening to. When you're done, then I give my three. Since I'm one person, I get three. One thing that you're listening to that you would like people to check out, Grason.
Oh man. Oh my God. One thing. This is so brutal. I'm going to be a little selfish here, and I have been a little obsessed with Chris's band, Pirates of the Promised Land, lately. It is a real band. They have this like kind of melancholy feeling to like this pop punk sing along stuff. I don't know. It's really powerful. I honestly would say that it's a band that just hasn't gotten the exposure it needs yet, and I freaking love it. I'm not doing that just because you're my buddy.
Right,
he's
Chris.
totally doing that just because he's my buddy. He slips him $20. I would say $20. All right. A band called Neks, Neks. Our producer Wes Johnson, the guy who produced our first album, he is in so many groups, and this most recent group of his, Neks, Neks, they are so heavy and good. They're so good. Their album's out. It's on all streaming services. Listen to them; they are phenomenal. And you can tell it's a labor of love because I think all 4 of the members of that band are all music producers. So it takes them forever to get those songs out because they just tennis ball that thing back and forth. But it came out so good. Please listen to them; they're excellent.
Nice, Alex.
I have been listening to Downstater, this band. They're on People of Punk Rock. We're about to play with them in May at Redbridge Fest. And I was like, oh, look at this band. Huge. I thought they were going to be hardcore, but they were just sick, fast, melodic punk rock. And that's who I've been.
Nice. Matt.
This band I just discovered just a couple months ago. I think they're relatively new, but they're called the Unks. So it's UNK apostrophe S. I don't know why they have an apostrophe, but we do have a period. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, the Unks, so good. It's protest music. It's a little, reminds me a little bit of Strike Anywhere, in that it's poetic and it's protest music at the same time. But super good. They got a song out called "Are You Fucking Kidding Me?" I would recommend anybody check out this song. It's so good. It's so it kicks so much ass, and it's just somebody. I haven't been this excited about a new band in years. So everybody check out the Unks.
Nice. All right. My 3 for this week. My first one is an artist that goes by the name Free Range. The name of the album is Lost and Found. It's kind of some cool indie gaze from Chicago. Next is a band called Paradise Blossom. Name of the album is Sunset Getaway. It's kind of ambient shoegaze new wave. And last but not least is a band called Pale Lungs. Self-titled album, Pale Lungs.
Yeah.
And
why do I know that name?
It's kind of hardcore-ish, post-hardcore-ish, I guess, type of band. But those are my 3.
Nice.
Hell yeah, we're gonna
Lung
check them
sounds
out.
familiar,
Pale
man.
Lung sounds super familiar.
I know I've heard of Pale Lung.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, guys, I want a huge heartfelt thank you to all 4 of you for taking the time in your practice studio to spend a little bit of time with me, to let some of your fans listen to some cool stories and behind the curtain, see how it makes this band run. Also, the biggest thank you goes to you guys for creating the music that brought us all together. I think that's really one of the most important things is the music that made me want to reach out to you guys and spend some time with you. So thank you guys so much for creating that. What you're doing is important, and I just want you guys to know that. So thank you.
That means the world to us, man. And thank you so much for having us on the podcast.
Yeah.
Just the opportunity to get our stuff out there and just talking to you is a delight. These are great questions, and it's been so much fun. We've been laughing our asses off behind the scenes, and I can't tell you, we all can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Shane.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks, dude.
Thank you. Well, everybody out there in the world, you know what time it is now. It's time to go out, listen to Restroyer, and have a great fucking time.
Profit over people whenever the
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions to myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band, and don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.